Man, you keep so many tarantulas.
Do you ever hold these things? I've never seen you hold your tarantulas. Are you afraid of them? You even have a scorpion, but I don't see you holding them. I see many other people holding their tarantulas online. But you're boring. You don't hold them. Come on, man. At least show us how to hold a tarantula.
Alright, guys, calm down, calm down. The reason I do not hold my tarantulas, well, there's a main thing. There's a main reason why I do not hold my tarantulas. Is it because they're scary? Is it because they bite? Is it because they're creepy and creepy crawlies? Creepy crawlies? Or is it because they're spiders and you're just an arachnophobe? No, it's actually none of those reasons. Now, you see, I have a very good reason for that. You see this thing? You see this black little ball looking thing? Now, that is called an abdomen. You may have heard of rumors of people saying, oh, cockroaches, you chop off their heads, they live. But that is not a rumor. It is, in fact, true. You know why? Because insects, ooh, this guy is not very happy. He's ready for food. But yeah, insects, arachnids, that ball over there, the abdomen, that's what they breathe with. Believe it or not. Yep. They don't breathe with their mouth as far as I know. I don't know. If I'm wrong, don't bash me. Comment down below. But as far as I know, tarantulas breathe through their abdomen. You can even sometimes see their heartbeat beating in their abdomen if you look very, very closely. But I mean, I'm filming with a phone, so not very detailed. You're not going to really see that. Now, the abdomen is like, how can I explain? It's like a water balloon, okay? What happens if you drop a water balloon? Exactly. It's not rocket science and you do not need a scientist to tell you what happens if you drop a water balloon. Bro, it freaking explodes. So that is no different with a tarantula's very own personal water balloon, which is their abdomen. If you hold a tarantula and the tarantula on your hand decides to bolt just like that onto the hard concrete floor or tiles, whatever, that's hard. Heck, even carpeted is considered hard for a tarantula. That precious abdomen over there is just gonna go and yeah, it's not a nice sight. You cannot do anything to save a tarantula once their abdomen has exploded. So in other words, that is pretty much the end of that tarantula. Yep, it's not their head that's gonna explode. It's that abdomen. And that is also one reason why people say to not overfeed your tarantulas. Because if you do, tarantula's abdomen is just gonna go big, and then sometimes these guys like to cling onto the top if they lose their balance, because these guys are not arboreals. Arboreals meaning living in the trees, okay? These guys are not arboreal. You see, they still go up, and if they were to climb up there and lose their balance and fall onto the ground, despite the substrate being soft, at a certain height, their abdomen can rupture. And that is no different if you're holding them and they just get startled for whatever reasons. I mean, they're not dogs, okay? They are little bugs, not insects. I just like to refer to them as bugs because they're not mammals. So they will run across your hand, and if you panic, you, I don't know, fling them off. They hit the ground. That's the end. Even if you don't fling them off, they are not good with grip, okay? Once they fly off your hand, like from over here and just onto the floor, bro, that is it. That's it for your tarantula. You're not gonna get your tarantula back, apart from lifeless body. Yeah. You're not gonna get a live tarantula back. So that is the main reason why I do not handle my tarantulas. No, I couldn't care less if one bits me, although I kind of do, but not as much as if they fall and just die. Because tarantulas, to me, these guys are precious. Okay, I cannot afford for them to just die on us, right? I can't afford that. So they're my pets. They're my pride and joy. I like to come into this room, just observe everyone, especially at night when they're all out. Yeah, I like to observe every single one of them. So they are precious to me, and I do not want anything to happen to them. So I don't handle them. They're like little fish. Yeah, exactly. Do you handle your fish? No, you do not. Because basically, tarantulas are fish out of water, if that makes sense. You keep them like fish because you do not handle them. You only feed them and you observe them. Make sense? Yes. Second of all, tarantulas, like especially these new worlds, they do have urticating hairs. Like perfect example, you see this one's climbing up. If it climbs up, if this enclosure is like really tall, which is another reason why people would not recommend you house an arboreal, a terrestrial, let's say in a tall enclosure, and your substrate's only like this much. So substrate and this part of air is too high, so they can just fall and just kill themselves. So yeah, better put the substrate high, and the leg span of the tarantula should at least be, don't be double the leg span of the tarantula, if that makes sense. So you see this tarantula, the leg span's about like this, right? Something like this. So it's not double. So it's still kind of safe. Still, I wouldn't say 100% foolproof, but yeah, tarantulas, if the substrate, it's better if the substrate is around here. Make sense? So when they climb, they do not have any space to fall. Yes, makes sense, right? But the unfortunate thing is I kind of made these enclosures a little bit wrongly, because if you guys see, the door actually opens quite a lot. What I regret is I should have made the door just something like this, cut here. Then the substrate can be until here, right? Full of substrate. And the door is just a little opening over here, bloop, in order to just feed them. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And of course, they're tarantulas. They can bite you if they want to. But I've not been bitten, okay? I've been keeping tarantulas for a very long time. But I've heard that the pain is like a bee sting. I've been stung by a bee and it's not fun, but at the same time, it's not too bad. I don't know. Yeah, just don't get bit. Of course, it varies from species to species. You wouldn't want to get bit by a calceatum, because that could potentially send you to the hospital. Okay, so I've explained myself as to why I do not handle my tarantulas, but since you guys do ask me at times why I don't, and yeah, that's the reason, I will still show you guys how I were to handle a tarantula if I had to. And for this, I'm going to be choosing the Charcoal Goldenie, because these guys are pretty chill. Yeah, they still have a pretty chill nature as compared to, I don't know, a freaking Goliath bird eater or something. These guys, no, don't play with them, please. Just don't. So if you really have to handle your tarantula, well, these are some tips. First of all, you want to get a very soft brush, okay? You want to test your tarantula's temperament. Just tap it something like this, and if she doesn't lunge at you, if she's a little bit slow like this, it's a good sign. If she lunges at the brush, then no, just don't, okay? So as you can see, she is walking rather slowly. So what you want to do is you just put your little finger or hand, yeah, no, not finger, hand, and you just slowly coax her, something like this, onto your hand. You just let her slowly walk by herself, something like this, and yeah, you got her onto your hand, which is good. Just want to slowly get her full body onto your hand, and you should be good to go. Now, you do not want to lift up your tarantula too high. Just the same method as like I mentioned about the enclosure and the substrate. If you want to really handle your tarantulas, which I highly do not recommend, she doesn't even want to be handled. You want to keep them like close to the ground, very close to the ground, something like this. You see, she is pretty chill, which is why I chose this girl to handle. Now, this girl is actually the daughter of my first ever tarantula. I had a Charcoal Goldenie as my first tarantula, and I became a matured male. I sent him over for a breeding loan, and this is one of his daughters. So this is how you handle a tarantula. You wouldn't want to carry this girl up too high, because like I said, she can get startled, she can run off, and you do not want her to fall onto the ground. Yep, I will put her back down very gently. And these tarantulas, they're not like mammals, okay? So they do not really understand like love or something like compassion. They will, and they can potentially, I wouldn't say they will, but they can potentially bite you out of nowhere when you're holding, because maybe they feel it's soft, they think it's a worm or grub, they just dig into your fingers, and that's not good, right? You don't want that. So just don't handle your tarantulas. I've just shown you how I handle my tarantulas if I were to have to, but I still do not recommend you handle your tarantulas, because they don't feel comfortable, and it's really, even you wouldn't feel comfortable. It's not even a nice feeling, to be honest. So yeah, that is why do not handle the tarantulas. So I hope this video actually cleared all of the questions about why I don't hold my tarantulas on video, why I don't play with them, why I don't interact with them, well, that's the reason. Tarantulas, legit, you cannot interact with them. They're kind of deaf. They sense vibrations, so for the sake of you and the tarantula, for the benefit of you and your tarantula, just don't handle them, okay? They look nice in itself just to look at them. Just think of them like fish out of water, right? And that's why a lot of people, I do recommend keeping tarantulas as well, even though they're arachnophobic, because you are literally not doing any physical interaction with them. You are legit looking at them like a fish, and they are boring as it is. I don't mean it in a bad way, it's just that they just don't move like fish. So yeah, they're just there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a pretty random one. I will see you in the next one. Hopefully you understood what I said, and do not ask me anymore why I don't handle my tarantulas, because that's the reason. It's basically for their safety. Nothing much to do with my safety. I couldn't care less, although yeah, I kind of do. I don't want to get bit, or I don't want to get kicked hairs at, but it's mainly for their safety. Okay guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, stay safe, have an awesome one. Peace.